Okay, so this is a sizing podcast and super important one, I think. Also very personal in terms of how it would be different from me to all of whoever's listening. That being said, I think there's things that you can get that you can kind of do your own reality check. So the first thing I'll say is you can't lie to yourself. You just can't bullshit yourself when it comes to emotions and money. And some people are thrill seekers and they can take big swings, and some people can't go to bed at night and they're terrified with a certain position on. They don't want overnight risk, and certain markets are too whippy and they can't handle it. Other people, it's the opposite. You really have to be honest with yourself to where you're sitting, and then you have to start. It doesn't mean you can't trade the other ones. You need to trade them smaller and wider if that's a problem for you. Because the worst thing is, which I talked about last time, is you keep having good ideas and you do homework and you study things, or you have setups, and then you just keep losing money and then watching the setups work anyway because you're too big, or your time frame is like it's got to happen today or tomorrow, and then it happens 5 days later and you just can't catch it. Happened to all of us. Happened to me so many. It happens nonstop, and I know it happens to a lot of people. And one way I'm trying to combat that and be better at it is just to. I told you about the 3 accounts in the previous podcast of different sizes and different time frames, and it sounds complicated. It's actually, I've been trading for a long time, so I have certain strategies that I'm comfortable with, and I'm trying to add more stuff. And as I add more stuff, it's like, okay, sometimes here's an example of how it gets kind of hairy. There's a trade I'm doing in crypto. I've been trading more crypto recently, and I think it's a good trade for. It's hard to say in crypto, but I feel like it could be a very good long-term trade for meaning like a year or more, which is quite a ways in my world. That doesn't happen a lot over here. So, okay, let's just say that's the case. And then I think it was actually a day trade where it was really going to move in the next hour, and it did. So I was right on that. And then I thought it's also going to be a good medium-term trade where it's going to work well the next week or two. So then in the next amount of months, it becomes a little more iffy. That's not really my time frame. So I have 3 trades in one here. There's like a more size for the day trade, and then I get out of those. And then there's the trade that's going to last a few weeks. So I have a little bit bigger position for that on, and then I'm going to get out of those. And then the remaining piece is going to be the long-term piece, which I give a lot of room, and I can sleep well at night. I don't care about it. So this trade is interesting because here's the thing. When I enter it like a day trader, but I have a piece of it that I want to hold for a very long time, I have to really make sure that if it doesn't work right away, I have to get out of that big size. And because I can't move the goalposts and just hold the whole package for 2 years, or I'm not going to be able to sleep at night because I'm trading with short-term size, but I want to have a longer-term idea because my short-term idea didn't work out as I thought. I didn't get those off at a profit, so I'm just going to sit with them. And that can be really difficult, and I've gotten trouble managing that before. So I have to really think that out ahead of time. This is going to go here soon. If it doesn't work, I need to get back to the 2 or 3 week size. And then if that doesn't work, I need to get back to the 1 year size and it's not always that the trade, usually the trades are their own time frame. They're not all in one, but sometimes you get a trade where I like it on all 3 time frames for a little bit. And I have to really map that out. And this is an exercise in really knowing yourself and what you can handle, because a lot of it is just they get you to puke out at the worst possible time because you didn't manage that right. And you can't, so when I'm holding something for a year, or in my thematic longer term account, or 6 months, it's easier for me to buy an ugly spot because I really like what I'm doing. I can buy when it looks like the chart looks good, but right here it's just about to break, but I still like it. I can buy that spot because I have small size. I can sit through it. I can buy it right where I think it's close to the end. Whereas when I'm day trading, I'm more looking for like that momentum and that it's going to go right now. It needs to move very quickly. And it's a little different way I enter. And then in the medium term swing trade, it's different yet. It depends on the setup, but so they're all different. So you have to have different strategies for them. You have to have different stop points, and you have to make sure that you don't confuse that. Sometimes I'll just put a piece of it in a longer term account. Like under Interactive Brokers, I have 3 drop down tabs now. So the same account, but there's 3 little sub accounts with different account numbers, and I'll do the trades in the correct account. So that way I don't have to look at my P&L all day moving around from 3 different strategies when I'm just focusing on maybe a short-term strategy. And then it kind of muddies everything. And emotionally, when you're having a bad day, you want to just get out of everything. And I've done that before. Then you ruin all your other trades because you're not able to. Maybe some people are able to, but I've had a hard time sitting through different stuff together. It just muddies the water. So it's just more clean cut for me to do that. But this size thing is so important. And here's another aspect of it is you want to build momentum and good trust and good vibes with yourself. It's really important because you're going to make a lot of money relative to what you're doing. You make the most amount of money when you're trading probably medium size and you have a lot of momentum, and you'll just know when to get bigger and you'll hold it better. When you trade really big over your britches, you usually get nervous and you freeze, you take bigger losers, you don't act right. So if you're playing a little smaller, small to medium in your world, and you keep stringing together good things, that's when the magic happens and you really start doing well. It's just, I always say it's playing small ball works really well. It's like just make contact with the ball, try to get on base, and all of a sudden the home runs are flying off your bat and you don't know how it happened. You're not even trying. You can't try to hit a home run. You'll strike out. It doesn't work. Home runs come by doing the right things. So this is like clean it up, put it in its place, have the right plan for the right time frame, and then don't move the goalposts. Like if the day trade has a target in a profit zone, get out and then get back to your other size or whatever, and then just continue to do things the way you said you're going to do them. Sometimes it's like, I buy the stock at 15. I think it's going to 19, and then it goes to 19 really quickly. Well, it's going to go to 25, back to 15, and that's just the worst feeling. I would almost rather get out of some and have it go up to 30 and then say, why did it go up more? What was I looking for? What can I do better next time? I mean, there's a lot of nuances. I can't make blanket statements about that. You could say you need to ride your stuff better, and maybe you do, maybe you don't. Depends on the trade. Everything's different. But moving the goalposts after you're in the trade usually is not a good idea. So that's another one. So to sum this up, it's like, know your time frame, size properly. You can't lie to yourself on what you can emotionally handle. Second part of it is playing small to medium really builds momentum, and just don't be afraid to trade a little smaller and let the momentum build, and you'll just become bigger when you need to be. That's what happened with me.